Okay, so we are moving on to the next basic principle of teaching our kids to be kind, and that is praise. Now, this may seem counterintuitive because in the very beginning, I was telling you that when we're teaching our kids to be kind, we're teaching them to not do it with any expectation of anything in return, and that includes praise. When we're kind to people, we don't need to be, ooh, you were kind. We don't need that as adults. Young kids, they need the praise. They need it dumped on them heavily so that they continue this behavior. So all behavior in any human will continue with whatever attention they're getting for it. So if it's negative attention, positive attention, it will continue. If we want the positive behaviors to continue, we need the positive reinforcement, and we need it often, and we need it loud, and we need it over the top, especially for our younger kids and for our kids who are really struggling with being kind. A lot of parents write me and they say, well, one of my kids is just so kind and the other one, not so much. That kid's gonna need a little bit more praise to get them over the hump to wanting to be kind more often. They're gonna want the recognition. They're gonna want the positive reinforcement because that feels good, being recognized for your behaviors. And then we can wean them off of it. We can, step back from it a little bit. But in the beginning, we dump it on them. And here's how we do it so that it's effective. There's two ways. You can praise the behavior or you can praise the kid. So I go really big, especially in the beginning. Oh my gosh, that was the kindest. You got a cup of water for your sister when you got yourself a cup of water. That was so kind. Oh, amazing. And I then also often tie in the emotion. How did that make you feel? But did you feel good when you did that? So we can talk to them about the emotion that attaches with it. But we dump the praise on. And then we can slowly step back. That was a kind thing you did. And again, step back. You can I saw what you did. That was cool. And now you can, as your kids need less and less, you can just nod, point. I see you. I see what you did there. A wink, high five, thumbs up, whatever you want to do, you can back them off of it until they don't need it anymore. So again, when you're going through the basics, our kids go in waves sometimes of kindness when they're not feeling super kind, when they're, my daughter, the other day, her friend was being really unkind to her, and I was watching it happen. And the whole rest of the afternoon, she was really nasty to her siblings. We had to go back to the basics. We had to go back. I had to praise even the smallest amounts of kindness with her to get her back on the right track. So praising the behavior. You can also praise the kid. You are a kind kid. Oh my goodness, look at you. What a helper you are. So I don't love labels, but with this, I do it, and I label them heavily. You are a kind kid. You are a helper. You are compassionate. You have such a high level of empathy. Oh my goodness, you took care of that kid when he fell down. That was amazing. So attaching a label to them. You are a kind kid. We also use this phrase, and I can't remember where I heard it from, and it's amazing. You're the kind of kid who. Oh, it's from the book, The Secret of Happy Families. You're the kind of kid who helps other people. You're the kind of kid who holds the door open for somebody even when they're far away. That's amazing. You're the kind of kid who helps their friend when they dump over their whole bucket of crayons. That's so awesome. Labeling the behavior, labeling the kid, dumping the praise on them. And then you can back away. You don't have to call attention to it all the time, but you can slowly wean them off of that. But it's so powerful. You'll watch, if you, as a teacher, if you want the behavior over here, if you want this kid to be kind, you praise this kid's gonna want some of that. They're gonna want it. They're gonna want it. So they're gonna, I'll do something kind. Okay, so right now they're doing it to get something in return, and that's okay. We can then wean them off of that. Eventually, we need to get them into the habit of doing it and knowing that it feels good to be kind. So how else can we support this? How can we praise kids? Some kids they can do the affirmations and they love that. Some kids need something a little bit more tangible, and that's okay. I got you covered. So we have a whole chart, and I'm going to give this to you, but this is our kindness whole chart. Sarah's caught being kind, and every time your kid is kind, even the smallest amounts of kind, you were kind, that's a hole. Trusty hole puncher, that's a hole. Boom. And they go around. Now, again, this is not expecting anything in return, but in the beginning, we need to get them into the right habit, back to the basics. So when they get to 20, then maybe they get a kindness book, or they get time with you, or they get a sticker, or they get an extra treat, whatever their love language is, basically, whatever they love. If they love Pringles, maybe buy them a little thing of Pringles for their lunch when they get 20 acts of kindness. We also do a sibling ice cream challenge. I'm going to talk about this a little bit more in the sibling lesson, but if you need a jump start on this, every time my kids are kind to their siblings specifically, they get to color in an ice cream. And when they've filled it all in, they get a sibling ice cream date. So this is for one, especially works when one sibling is not as kind to some of the other siblings. Give this to them, and every time they're kind, they get to color an ice cream and then take all their siblings for an ice cream date. I also have, this works best if you're in a classroom or in a group of scouts or a religious group, or you've got a group of kids, but parents can use this as well, and it's our Caught Being Kind cards. If your kid loves to collect cards, loves the recognition, you can print these out, and every time you see it, you can hand them one. And the other thing that's really powerful, but also tricky, is letting them overhear your praise to another adult. Here's the trick. You can't let their sibling hear, because this is where the sibling jealousy can really play out. But if you know that only one, the kid that you want to have hear you, can hear you, get on the phone with your mom, get on the phone with your hubby, your spouse, a friend. Oh my gosh, you will not believe how kind Jennifer was today. This is what she did. Oh my goodness, can you believe how kind she is? Let them overhear you praising them to another adult. As long as their siblings can't hear, it's so powerful. It gets them to want to do it more often. Okay, so back to the basics. The next module, we're going to be talking about this right here. This is one of the most powerful tools we use in our home to get our kids to speak with kindness more often and evaluate what they're saying, and eventually evaluating what they say before they say it. All right, I'll see you in there.